Hello and welcome to South Sudan Media Television broadcast live into our headquarters here in central Cairo. Then at this point tonight we focus on South Sudanese Student Affairs episode, a program that talks about their entire student situation facing their students in the Arab Republic of Egypt. Follow us as we bring you the full coverage of South Sudanese students' conditions in this foreign nation. But first, let's go for a short break and we'll be back in a minute. The students to the central administration from government side for solution finding. Well, to give us more about this, will be joined live by the president-elect of South Sudanese students in Swiss University, Mr. Fanaru Ashwil. Join me live now in the special edition. Welcome to South Media, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, South Sudan Media, for inviting me here. I'm very glad and I'm happy. As you've heard, Joseph Fanaru Ashwil, the president of South Sudanese Student Association of Swiss University.
So. Tremendous. So just literally, people might be so curious about who is Fanaru in person. So as you introduce, you are the president of the Students Association. So in the beginning of your term, you seem to have taken the office 5 months ago, or approximately. Then up to now, tell us what is your first achievement.
Thank you for the question. I'll be very straight to the question and I'll just answer it. Since I took the office, after today, we have tried to do some achievement. The first thing, when I was elected into the office, there was some office equipment that were absent, but when I came in as the president, I managed to bring some of the equipment in.
What are those equipments in terms?
At first, I sat with my cabinet and we purchased the laptop for the association, so that all the records for association are kept in one place so that they should not scatter anywhere, and it is one of the first things that I did when I was elected.
Great. So literally, let's talk about, because we do have an association which of course where all the students are the members. At this point, the person that during your took over process, you mentioned about the unity of South Sudanese entirely in your university. Tell us about what is the situation about in terms of student cooperation with the administration as well.
Yeah, the unity of South Sudanese Student Association at Swiss University, it is one of the greatest things that I have seen ever, especially in Egypt here. We have a very great cooperation. So if you happen to go to Swiss today, then you will see that good unity and cooperation between the student and the administration of the university. Also, you will see a cooperation between the student and the leadership, which is in place. As per now, if you go today, we live as family, and today we call it as South Sudanese in Swiss family. We don't call it an association, but a family.
All right. So, what is the first function as you might have held in your administration?
The first function that I held was just a sport day. That's the first function that I held so far. Then the second function that I did was the fun day for our graduates. We took them to the field and then we took them to the boat so that they go and share with their parents and they share with their friends so that they are able to celebrate. These are the two functions that I did so far, and we are about to do more.
All right, in doing more, as we mentioned, so what is it like?
Yeah, right now we are planning to do the inter-university games. We are also planning to do a conference. This conference will focus on the leadership skill. That will include other presidents from different associations. They will be included in, and this is the function that we are going to hold. Then later on, we are going to welcome our new students who are going to be admitted under scholarship, and also we are going to do the final farewell talk for our graduates, and that will be that may be probably in the November or October. So that's what we are going to do.
All right, sorry. And that point, Mr. President, sorry, it sounds better. And as well, let's just go literally to the eminent problem that all the students in Swiss have been complaining for years, and there is no solution out from every administration and from the government as well. So just tell us the details about the credit hour system, which seems to be the real problems that you are facing. So what is just about the story about that?
Oh yeah, the issue of credit hour system is something which is very complicated. It has taken us now a year and a month, almost a year and a month right now. We have been moving up and down. I want just to take you a little bit back how we started it. When we were admitted here under South Sudanese scholarship in Swiss University, and especially to those who are doing petroleum engineering, the first thing that we did, by then it was Morjon who was the president. I was working under Morjon leadership as a secretary of academy. So the president delegated me to the embassy to go and meet the ambassador and the cultural attaché. Then he told me to go and bring the proper message. If at all, why a South Sudanese at a scholarship is still paying an extra fee. So I went to the cultural attaché. We talked to him, and the cultural attaché gave me a letter indicating that you are supposed to pay even if you are on the scholarship. So I brought this paper. The president came and put in the file, and he announced to the public that you are supposed to pay. That was under Amor. Then later on, the President Assadik was elected in again. Assadik again took over the leadership. And then after that, he did not follow up, but though, because he knew there was nothing.
As you talk about the same condition, explaining the story of that condition for credit hour system, tell us specifically which percentage do you pay per year?
The percentage that we pay per year in credit hour system, it is the least is $1,500. Then the highest is $2,500. This is the amount that is being paid by one student.
What is the difference between this amount with, is it for those under government scholarship, or is it entirely for students under private and you as well?
It is generally everybody pay the same amount. The difference become one in level. If you are in the preparatory year or in first year, then you are charged with $2,500. If you go to, if you are in second year, third year, and fourth year, you are able to pay $2,500 as well. So the difference become in level. So level determines the number of hours that you are going to take, because per hour you pay £900 Egyptian pound per hour. So you multiply with 19 hours, you are able to get 18,000 Egyptian pound. And if you converted that one per semester, then you can get $1,500 or $1,200.
$1,200.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to scholarship. It seems that it's still on this point. So you are under government scholarship, and there seems to be just an exemption piece, which is $600. That is this $600 in the same combination, or is it excluded?
No, $650 is different. $600 just go directly to our FIDIN account. But this $2,500 go to direct university account. So it is totally different to payment. So if you are under private, then you pay $650 and then $2,500.
What is your contribution in this? What did you do as the president with the government, which is on the side of embassy representation?
What I did so far, we went to Wafidin to go and we went to Wafidin to take the complaint to Wafidin. Wafidin went and gave us the paper. This letter was officially written, and then it was stamped by Wafidin. Then when we took this letter to the university gave us a green light by saying at first that you have just to continue without paying anything. Then when the first semester finished, then at the beginning of the second semester, then the university said that you are supposed to pay money because this letter was wrong written. So you are supposed to pay
who wrote it wrongly? So
the Wafidin.
Wafidin.
Yeah.
Okay, back to your government side, on the side of embassy. So what is the take on this?
We reported the case to the embassy. Ambassador himself went to the university and talked to the university administration. So the university said that our government said that we need one delegation from the university. then then a delegation from the embassy, then we will go to Wafidin, which is the Minister of Higher Education, so that we go and see the reality. Are these students supposed to pay or not? That is the...
Are you optimistic about the possible change of this system of paying this incredible amount?
Exactly. If it was 100%, we are not supposed to pay, especially when you are under scholarship. Because scholarship, it means that you are exempted from anything to do with school fees. What you are supposed to pay is only accommodation. But what I'm seeing here, there's a game which is being played, of which it may not help our student. But how I wish I had those powers to make sure that this money are not paid by the student, because it is their privilege not to pay this money.
All right, so welcome back from that, Mr. President. Before we concluded from this point, so we heard rumorsly that you have held a meeting, a Zoom meeting, with the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Higher Education, and which was also attended by the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Batrus Wani. So in this meeting, what was your outcome?
The meeting that was held by the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Higher Education and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. This meeting was attended by even the ambassador himself. I raised the point about the credit hour system issue, the extra fee that I raised, but the Undersecretary of the Ministry was even surprised that I never knew that there were an extra fee that were asked from the students. So we have to contact the authority which is responsible for this, and then we are going to see the outcome of this. So up to now we are waiting for that outcome from the Ministry of Higher Education in South Sudan.
All right, sorry. In that meeting, when was it held?
It was held on the 26th of May. That's when it was held. It was attended by the president of the whole association in Egypt here, ambassador, then some delegate from the student from the General Assembly.
Okay, all right. In that point, Mr. President, sorry, you seem to be one of the stakeholders from Students' Administration on your part of Swiss University. At this point, we have one of the tremendous problem that all the students are very skeptical about the possibility of raising the union once again. So, what do you know about the union that seems to have gone now for significant number of years without functioning?
The issue of union right now, we are working on it. All the president of the association, we sat down and we decide that we must make sure that the union is established once again. And this one here we have already made a committee that will be in the process with the ambassador, with the embassy. This committee is being led by Alawia, the president of Cairo University. Then Abraham, is president of Ancient University, is the information secretary. Then Ajak Romayom, Alexander University president, the secretary general. This committee are going to contact the previous office so that they are able to give us all the document. So when we get this document we are going to use in order to facilitate the process if we are going to hold the election or not.
Okay, so it's very hard from just the physical observation of that point, because we have the union, and the union has spent a number of years without functioning. So how would you make it possible to be back? And who is the central problem to the downfall of the union? Is it from which part as well?
The central problem of the downfall of the union was from the previous office. Also, we the student we have also contributed in the failure of the union. Why do I have to say so? We have seen who is the president of the union by then. He refused to hand over the leadership. So Ngor is the problem.
Ngor is the problem. So according to, because the man you pointed out to be the problem for the failure, who is the president currently, so do you recognize him to be just the official president as for the union, or how would you describe?
We don't recognize him at all. He has already been impeached.
But he's just attending some occasions and is serving as the president.
He's attending this occasion illegally, and if he's found doing so, then it's against the law, and he must be treated as criminals.
Do you have what is the constitution says about if the person maybe is taking the union for a number of years without, there is now the point, the progression of his function, and then you said that it's against the law, and then he must be subjected to problems. So what did you do? And he's doing it for almost 4 years' time.
Yeah, this one here, it is only that we don't exactly concentrate on with our constitution, but the constitution say if the president exceeds the number of the term that he's supposed to spend in the office, he's supposed to step aside, and this is what was done by the Council of 40. Council of 40, I was part of that council, or we was led by then, that is Manas, who was the president of the council. And then Bona Lang was the Secretary General of the Council. So the meeting was held. The meeting was attended by the ambassador himself, and the ambassador took all the documents and informed the leadership to step aside and give the powers to the president of all the associations so that they are able to take the union forward.
Great. About the union, Mr. President, just literally, just tell us now the specific time in which you're going to let the student know about your progressive development, in which you appointed Ms. Halawiya to be the acting president at the moment for the union.
Yeah, the number of time that we are going to spend right now will depend with the time that we are going to take to, because right now we are collecting the document from the previous office. And we talked to the SG, and the SG could not provide the full detail because he was telling us that the documents are with the president. And the
without cutting you short, Mr. President, without cutting you short, so there is a tremendous problem about this stamp of the office for the union. So there seems to be where the problem is, because who is responsible for the stamp now? Is Secretary General, or perhaps is it the president?
The Secretary General is supposed to be the one who is responsible for the stamp and everything. All the office documents are supposed to be under the Secretary General. But up to now, the Secretary General has no idea where are these documents. And it is stated that, he told us that the documents are with the president, and the president is out of the country, he has already traveled, of which it is something which is defeating our mind. How come that the president take the documents when the general secretary is there? So this is the question that we are going to ask, and this is the question that defeat us on how we should handle.
So, Mr. President, on item that you mentioned, the president of the union has to travel to different country, and you couldn't have the stamp in place. So whom should you consult at the moment?
Right now we are in consultation with the embassy. We have talked to the cultural attaché, and the cultural attaché promised us that we will provide this document to you so that you are able to go out with the process. So we are waiting from the embassy on when they are going to give us the document, so that we should take over the next step.
Okay, sir, before we finish here, there is a tremendous rectification on scholarship, which is for this year, which there seems to be fully funded or not fully funded. So what do you know about this?
The full funded scholarship, exactly, I don't think if I can answer you guys, but now because in my university, we have only one person who is under full funded scholarship. The rest are under partial scholarship at all. But the process of which this student was brought, after now, I have no idea. But I know he's under full funded scholarship, and he's not supposed to pay anything, even in the hostel.
Student of which academic year?
He's in the preparatory year in the Faculty of Petroleum and Mining Engineering, the first year. Right.
All right, sorry. On that point, sorry, students are now applying online from South Sudan and also here in Egypt, but there is a critical problem in the system of application. So what did you hear from the embassy? Or
after now, the embassy, personally I went to the embassy and I acquired some information, but the embassy said after now they have no full information on what is exactly going on in Juba, because after now they are supposed to announce the scholarship so that everybody applied, but after now people are not applying because in Juba they have not been given a chance to take over the lead at the embassy as per now, so they are also waiting.
Okay, so how would you describe this? Is it just the termination of bilateral relation between the two countries, or what do you think about it? Because this year, the number of students possibly going to come seems to be out of number.
I don't know exactly if it is going to be terminated, But how I wish this one happened this way, because it is very important that we see a scholarship that help us, but in most cases the scholarship that being provided to most of the students here, especially the partial scholarship, is bringing more harm to our students than the good. So it would be even better if they terminated it, but I believe...
All right, we'll talk about that next time, but first your final message to the general situation in Egypt, or to the people of South Sudan, citizen here in Egypt. What will you tell them?
Okay, what I want to say first, I want to extend my gratitude to our government that the first thing that I want to send is the message of the Swiss University students. People are more stressed, and they went through a thorough depression because of the money of credit hour system. So if our government can step in and help the student out of this, then they would have done something which is very great. So this message going to our government, please, you try to look into this so that you are able to serve the student from this problem. That is to our government. To our student in Egypt here, I want just to tell you that the life of your life here depends with you. If at all you are in any faculty, try to focus. Try to go through anything, try to refresh your mind, because we are going through a terrible depression here, and we believe it is none of us have the parent here, and it is our responsibility to make sure that this depression goes away, and we pray all of us go back to our country successfully and have a better education later on, so that we are not able, we should not be traveling to other countries, so that we go and have some other, we go under certain problems and all this. So what I want to extend to most of the students in Egypt here, try to work or try to go in a right way. Don't just move, because here we're in a foreign land and we are not our country. So what I want to extend to you as our student, please remain calm, remain your places, remain your faculty, and may God bless South Sudan, and may God bless all our students in our Republic of Egypt.
Remain in focus. That is the final message of Mr. President to the entire students here studying in Egypt. Many thanks, and also stressing about mental depression. As we have gone over time, we'll talk about that story next time round. That, of course, and this brings us to the successful conclusion of this chat clip interview with the president of South Sudanese Students Association in Swiss University, Mr. Fanaru Ashwil. Many thanks to you, Mr. President. Thank you so much, dear students, or everyone who is following us on this special edition, and stay tuned to South Sudan Media as we bring you the full coverage of all the internal affairs happening inside and beyond the city.